Hi, how are you doing? I'm Rabbi from English Harmony, and today I'm going to share something with you that made me real angry yesterday. I was browsing around the web, reading random stuff, and then I came across this blog post called Bloggers Who Are Non-Native English Speakers are not native English speakers struggle more. And I started reading it, and it just made me so angry. I just couldn't believe that someone could be writing stuff like this. So the first paragraph, okay? One thing I consider myself very fortunate for is having been born in the United States. I grew up speaking English right from the get-go. I know all the different dialects across our country. It's very obvious when you come across some blogger who grew up with English as a second language. I feel for them. And that sentence, I feel for them, just stood out, and I thought, what's she saying? I feel for them. Why? And then she goes on to explain that whenever she comes across a blog that's written by a non-native English speaker, she finds it difficult to read that blog, and no matter how hard we try, we foreigners, because she actually doesn't specify any nationalities. She doesn't distinguish between foreigners who might be speaking better and worse, and those who are like beginners, intermediates, English learners, and advanced. No, she puts all of us in one basket. We're all the same according to that article. Probably she doesn't mean it like that, but that's the way it reads, right? So she goes on to explain that we're trying to make up for the lack of fluency, for lack of written fluency on our blogs by flashy designs and outstanding layouts and all, but it's still, we don't come anywhere near blogs written by native English speakers. And like in the end of the article, she compares the whole thing with a book that she's read called Acres of Diamonds. It's and the book is about a man who sold his property to go look for diamond mines so he could be rich. I'm reading her article, right? And then the person who bought his property soon realized that there were acres of diamonds all over that property, right? And that the original owner never looked for them there. And she says, we foreigners are struggling to write in English and to get into the English-speaking blogosphere, but we would probably be much better off blogging in our native languages within niches in our own countries, and that those could be those diamond fields. For Christ's sake. I'm angry. I'm insulted. Kathy, right? With all due respect. But before I read this article, I couldn't have imagined that somebody would write something like that about foreigners. It's so condescending. It's insulting, seriously. I take it as a personal insult. I've been a blogger for 4 years, right? And initially, my articles, when I look back at them, yes, there were mistakes in them, but I'm improving over time, and I wouldn't say that they're so bad, and my lack of American accent or fluency or whatever, I just don't care about it. Neither do people who find my blog posts interesting and useful. Native English speakers among them, right? And I've been writing stuff for other websites. I've been involved in several other projects, and they've been successful, and not a single time has it been pointed out to me that my foreign origin is an issue. And the comments on this blog post they are all agreeing with her, and there's this person saying that she was checking foreigners' essays at school, and the grammar was horrible, and it was such a difficult task, and Kathy says, yes, I was a little hesitant to publish this one because I don't want to alienate anyone, especially my foreign friends who visit here. I don't want to discourage them from blogging in English. I merely wanted to point out that I understand it must be more difficult for them than it is for people like us. More difficult? I'm doing it. And it's not difficult for me. There's this comment saying, oh no, hold on. There's a foreigner posting a comment, and she responds, I don't blame you for trying. I sympathize with you. She's patting him on his head. Right. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sympathizing with us foreigners. We are subservient to native English speakers in the United States, in the mighty state United States. We all foreigners come from the third world countries, and we don't know anything, and we live in clay huts, and we don't know what the internet is, because somewhere, whether it was in the article or in the comments, someone says something about foreigners spreading the idea of the internet, about the revolution of the internet, as if the rest of the world lives in, don't know, in the 19th century, and we've barely started finding out what electricity is. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then hold on, one more thing. Oh yes, there's a man posting comments, and she responds, your comment was flagged by Akismet. It's a WordPress plugin which flags spammers. And this is something else that probably happens often to non-native English speakers. I bet they get flagged as spam all the time. Kathy, give me a break, okay? You gotta be kidding me.